Hello, Tech Balance here. Welcome back to another video. Today it's going to be a quick look at Excel operators, what they do, and we'll have a quick look into what is referencing in Microsoft Excel. So don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. If you have feedback for us, we always appreciate when we are always checking out the comment section. So let's get to it. So Excel has very many operators that you can be able to use in your day-to-day applications with Microsoft Excel. We'll be looking at about 13 in total, and for these cell operators I will begin with what we're able to see from the left side of the screen. So for example, when you're doing some summation, you will always go to the plus sign, even in your standard applications, and you find Excel has the same. You can quickly put it in from your keyboard section. Hyphen from your keyboard can be used for subtraction, or if you have the traditional bigger keyboards, you can always have the numeric pad where you have the minus sign, right? For division purposes, you have the forward slash that is used to divide, where whatever comes preceding the forward slash is being divided by whatever comes after that. Now for the asterisk, this was a typo on my side. The asterisk is used for multiplication of two or more values. And then you have the percentage number, which is more or less used in terms of your data, editing. So when you head over to, let's select any cell and just make the title bar more visible and bigger, you realize you have very many number formats that you can have. So when you're doing your quick data entry, you can immediately put in the percentage sign to indicate that this is a percentage, and you can also mean that you're dividing this by 100, right? Then you can have the ampersand symbol, which is used to join or concatenate two or more textual values, right? We'll be looking at all these examples in later sessions. Now then you have the caret symbol, which is used as an exponential operator. Now to the right side we see the equal sign. The equal sign is used really to evaluate, it's what is more or less the go-to use in terms of entering formulas in your Microsoft Excel workbook or your worksheet. Then you have the greater than, less than, greater than, and equal to, or less than and equal to symbols. Then you have where the less than and greater than symbols can be used in conjunction to mean that this value is not equal to this value. So just a quick example in terms of data entry. In a traditional setup, you might find that most people will almost always use the equal symbol when they are doing data entry on Microsoft Excel. But the beauty of Microsoft Excel is you can have many other symbols coming before that specific symbol. So just quickly zooming in so that we get some visible workspace. If I was to say equals, let's put some dummy text here. Let's put 12, let's put 13, and we can start with the equals sign, right? We can say equals this plus equals this. So it gives you 25. It's the same thing as using the plus symbol, where you can say plus that, same thing. But what happens, you use the hyphen or the minus symbol, and you take the same values, what you get is an operand that is already applicable. So why? When you look at how Excel works, you realize just like any arithmetic operation, it leans onto your BODMAS, right? So BODMAS in essence means that you will have a very specific and chronological way of operating your mathematical functionalities that you're working with. The first one we'll obviously be looking at will be your brackets that will be evaluated first and foremost, right? Then the second one will obviously be your orders, higher orders, so where you have your caret symbol, that's where you will be using it. The third one, you will have your division, you will have your multiplication coming in, then addition and subtraction, right? So any other special characters are also evaluated within this core aspect of Microsoft Excel, and it's very important that you take that into consideration whenever working with Microsoft Excel. So if say we were to take this one, and we could probably say that and we throw in that, you realize Excel throws you an error because you've not put in a specific operator here. So if we were to put the asterisk sign, it quickly gives you the multiplication. And the beauty is Excel retains that formula in that field. So at a future point in time, should you come and change this variable, you see all the cells that quickly link up to that same value are automatically updated, which then brings us to the question of referencing. So there are different ways that you can reference Microsoft Excel data, and it's very important that you are aware if you're doing absolute referencing, if you're doing row referencing, or you're doing what we call column referencing, right? So for example, let me just put in some quick data here, and we can just use the autofill function. Let's have maybe something else like 201 of 2019, and let's have 2020. Then just selecting the two cells gives me an autofill functionality. So maybe this could be month, and this could be some abstract value, and we could be looking for maybe a multiplication of these ones, multiple of those ones, right? So one of the fastest ways to do that, you can have just that. And notice that if you hold on the bottom left corner, your symbol, your thick plus symbol, changes to a smaller, darker contextualized plus symbol. If I was to drag that to the end, there is an autofill option here that can either copy the cells, can fill the formatting only, fill without formatting, and flash fill. We will look at this at a later session, but for now it was simply more or less around multiplication. So what we've done here is no referencing, right? Then what happens when we do what we could call absolute referencing? What happens in this scenario is you are referring to a very specific cell, and just to lock in terms of absolute reference, you hold the F4 button. If your keyboard has a FN function that you need to click so that you get to the F4 functionality, you need to hold on to that. So what you quickly notice is that a $sign is placed immediately before your column header, your column reference, and your row reference, which means that you have absolutely locked to that cell, which is AK3. So if we were to say plus, maybe our value, it gives us, yes, what we expected was 2020. But if we drag down, notice that the last cell does not show 2036, rather it shows 2028. And if you double click on that cell, it shows you the formula and where it's pointing to. So that is very important whenever you're doing any data analysis, to know, are you working with absolute referencing, are you working with column specific or row specific, right? So let us look at row absolute. Let's look at row absolute. So once again, let's just quickly throw in the same month and value, and hit enter. So now for you to get absolute reference, you need to go select the specific cell that you want to reference as per the row. And remember, right now we are on row number 3. So clicking F4, you see it has absolute reference, that value. I click once more, it has an absolute reference for the row, which is what we want specifically on this one, right? And then finally we can have what we can call column specific, and we can just quickly do the same, hold your F4, click rather, or press on your F4, function 4 on your keyboard, press again, it switches to your column. Then you can continue to add whatever functions you wanted to do. So notice that once I drag down on these for the autofill function, you will end up with very different values at the end of the day. So specific to what we were doing, the results on the absolute referencing and the results on the row referencing look similar, but you see a stark difference when you double click on the formula and you realize that if we were also moving towards the right, then we would have been locked to to row number 3, but we will be able to move across our columns. Then when we come to the row reference, you realize it appears quite similar, but in reality it is not. And then when you look at the column absolute reference, it means that we had locked to column AK, but we have not locked to row number 3. So I will pause here for today's video. Do give us feedback in the comment section, like and subscribe. Definitely don't forget to check out other videos in the channel.